agree that the Civil War was not fought because of slavery. It wasn't. It was fought because of the greed of slave-owning men. Yep. So, states' rights. I guess you could say so, but we have a lot of people nowadays that are going to be offended by this because we've had ancestors and so on and so forth, and it's tradition that goes back to the South. And again, there's a reason why we do the Southern reenactments, and it's not because we decided to do them, it's because it's been put out there and romanticized. But why? Why did we fight the Civil War then, if it is the greed of these white men? What led to the Civil War? Well, there was slavery. So in the South was known as the place where things grow. So plantations abound. All over the place, there are wealthy people with lots of land. And who's working that land? Well, they're slaves. Sometimes indentured servants, who could be white, but generally that was towards like the beginning of the story of America. But once we had settled the land, and once we had set up all these plantations, there had to be someone to work them. So they set up a system. We're going to buy people from a different place. We're going to bring them here, and we're going to treat them like shit. Like they were doing, in South America. But there, they would end up killing them. They would work them so hard they would die and just exhausted. Here in America, we tried something different. We're going to allow them to continue to live. We'll work them hard. But not so hard that they'll die. Because we want to keep our farm equipment. So, here we go. Now we got all sorts of families and whatnot, and we're using these children, and those can be our new slaves, and so on and so forth. But they're not the only people in the South. Not everybody in the South owned a plantation and owned slaves. There were a whole bunch of poor people. A bunch of white people like you and I are today, just trying to make their way in the world. Were they on the slaves? Were they running slave plantations? No. But they might work there. They might be the basic riffraff that you and I are today. Those who have to go to work at our 9 to 5, so on and so forth. Back then, I'm sure it was a lot more than 9 to 5. But the wealthy people didn't pay them very well. They always ensured that they got paid way better than the slaves, but just enough to keep you shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Do what I say. Here's your base pay. Then we got a president who was saying that those people who were working for free, the slaves who were underneath you, weren't going to be slaves anymore. They were going to get more. They were going to get their freedom. And if they got their freedom, what would happen? They'd be right here with all those white people. So all these white people, our ancestors, the basic riffraff of the South, were like, wait. We've been here, we've been working our asses off for all these wealthy people. And now these people who got brought over from a different country and have been, working for free, and we've been told are just the worst people ever, not even human beings. They're going to be free, and suddenly they're going to be right there on par with us? Well, that's bullshit. And yes, it was bullshit that someone who was just owned by someone who was so manipulative and greedy would gain their freedom and be right there at the very bottom, which is where they were. But the slaves didn't have the news networks of the day. The slaves didn't control the narrative. So when these basic white riffraff went to their bosses and were like, what the fuck? This makes me very unhappy. Oh yeah, I get that it makes you unhappy. You know whose fault it is that I only pay you bullshit wages, barely enough to get by, which will be the same amount that a freed slave would get? It's not my fault. I mean, yes, I'm the one that decided how much to pay you. I'm the one that wants to make more money based on your labor because I really don't have any respect for you. You're just a laborer. But I kind of don't want you being mad at me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that it was the North's fault. They're the ones that are trying to hold you back. Not me. Not the rich guy who's paying your way and not giving you what you deserve, giving you what a freed slave would get if they just got their freedom. Don't focus on that. Focus on the people that want to bring those slaves up there. Focus on the fact that these slaves aren't even real people. That's what you should focus on. But whatever you do, don't look back this way. So, you got riled up. Your ancestors got riled up. You gotta go fight. You have to actually go kill fellow Americans. We're gonna secede from this nation because of how greedy we are, because of how much we want to pay so little into any of the work that we benefit from. So we don't want to pay the slaves, and we surely aren't going to pay the white riffraff more. No, that shit's unacceptable. So what am I going to do? I'm going to send you to war. I'm going to send that white riffraff, who's now getting kind of uppity, I'm going to send you away. I'm going to tell you that the only way that you're going to ever get anything that you're worth is if you go out there and you fight for it. The South will win and so on, and then only the white heritage will be the top. No. If you win, the greedy manipulators will still be at the top. They'll still be making way more than they should. And they're still only going to pay you the bare minimum of what you deserve. Because that's the system. But don't focus on that, goddammit. You focus on the fact that there's other people who also believe that they deserve more. That's the problem. If too many people deserve more, then I, the greedy person, am just going to give up. I'm not going to pay anybody anything. Oh, well, fuck. I guess then you shouldn't be in charge. You greedy piece of shit. The person who was more than willing to trade millions and millions of African American lives. You who was willing to trade so many Southern American lives. You who was willing to trade the Northern soldiers' lives. And for what? Money. I want more. And now we're in basically Civil War II's coming up, where corporations are saying, you know what, I want to make more. Frankly, I think that the rights that we have as American citizens, they go too far. You guys shouldn't be protected by having freedoms and liberties and all that kind of stuff. There shouldn't be laws that protect you. And if there are, we should write them in ways that I can write a different law that doesn't protect you. So now I can just have my way with you. Oh, well, some people are starting to say that they don't want that. That they actually believe that we deserve to have rights and freedoms. Uh-oh. Are you starting to feel as though things are getting pressurized? That you're not getting paid enough? Now they got these fast food workers who want to make $15 an hour. If they make $15 an hour, that's barely going to be enough to live. And now they're going to be right here with my wages. Now we're going to be making the same and they're just a fucking fast food employee? Well, I'm angry. I'm going to go to my higher ups and be like, this is some bullshit. And what do? They point it out once again. Not me. Don't look at me. Look at them. How dare those fellow Americans want to make more money? So we're getting the same thing. Now these manipulators are willing to trade your life, your freedom, my life, my freedom, and the future of this nation so that they can get more. Let's not fall for it this time, please. Let's not allow these stupid manipulators who send people like Tuk Tuk, some fucking rich guy's baby boy who hasn't had to do anything in his life to make a living. His life is nothing like your life. Unless, of course, you also had a silver spoon in your mouth. Then it's just like your life, probably. But now he's gone from news network to news network, and he'll sell his wares anywhere they're buying. But he found his place now, and all he has to do is be the mouthpiece for some super wealthy person who's way, way wealthier than he can ever dream of being. And now he's in that pyramid scheme. I get my money from the top, and all I have to do is send the good message down below. Look out. Look elsewhere. Don't look at my boss. Don't look at me. Don't look at any of that. We're the good guys. Look out. Look at them. They have darker skin. It's their problem. Look at those Americans. They're fighting for rights and liberties. They're standing up and protesting, wanting rights to be protected. That's dangerous. We need to put that down. I'm fairly certain we're smarter than that. But I understand that there's a lot of emotion and a lot of tradition and a lot of other shit that's been rolled up into this single problem. Yes, we all are being taken advantage of. You feel it, and I feel it. You can probably see that it's happening on the other side. All I ask is that you take a moment to determine whether or not it is or is not happening on your side. And if you're honest with yourself, I'm pretty sure you're going to find out that the manipulation's on all sides. Democrats and Republicans, the representatives are on the same side. Us, the voters, we're all on the same side too. But right now, we're starting to lose. And before we lose this great nation, I would like us to come together to do something to stop it. We don't have to fight. Right now, we still have a little bit of a vote. But it's not going to last long. So please, let's put down our guards, recognize that America is something we all want, and work together. Join me on Opinionized.